How's it going, everyone? To celebrate Summer Game Fest, PlayStation Store is running a Summer Game Fest sale with a lot of great deals, and I am here to cover some of the best deals under the price of $5. Got a lot of titles to go over, so let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with a great JRPG, and that is Valkyria Chronicles Remastered, 75% off for $4.99. I don't know how they're deciding what games to put on sale as a part of the Summer Game Fest sale, but you know what? If they announce a new Valkyria Chronicles, I would be all for it. I don't think that's gonna happen. There's like 2,000 games on sale. If we just assume every single one of them is gonna get a sequel revealed, yeah, I would be a pretty happy man, but that ain't gonna happen. But what I will say is Valkyria Chronicles 1 is a fantastic game. Great art style that has just aged super gracefully, given that we are closer to this game being 20 years old than 10 years old, which is kind of insane to think about. Yes, it came out back in 2008, and yeah, 16 years later, still looks damn good. The watercolor art style looks fantastic. Tactical gameplay is really, really well done, and story is good. I wouldn't say the characters are blow away. Like, the main characters are kind of like pretty generic, all things considered, but they're likable. They're like likable in a generic way, if that makes sense. But $4.99 here, I think, is a pretty good buy. Next up, we got Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition for $4.49. This is a game that I constantly talk up, and I think it's one of, honestly, the most underrated video games of all time. And I think over the last decade or so since it's been out, you know, it's garnered that kind of cult following that everybody that has played is like, bro, Sleeping Dogs is an absolutely awesome game, but just not enough people have played it. I don't think the game's ever going to get a sequel, which is unfortunate, but it's a really well done contained open world action title. I say contained open world because a lot of people say this is like GTA in Hong Kong, and it's really not that at all. It's a open world crime game, but you know, the comparisons kind of end there. More focus on the hand-to-hand combat, a bit of a grittier story, I would say. A really compelling main character as well. Really well done as far as that's concerned. $4.49 for Sleeping Dogs, I think, is a great price. Definitely go check that out. Next up, we got Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, a Game of the Year edition. Another game that is approaching a decade old. Shadow of Mordor is a really, really good open world. Another open world here that's a little bit more on the contained side. Satisfying action combat. I thought that was really well done. A good bit of content. A story is fine. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy. Probably couldn't care less about it, but I really enjoyed this as a game and had a great time with it. Definitely worthwhile if you like your open world action titles. Next up, do want to give a shout to both Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Look, you guys hear me recommend the RGG titles ad nauseum. Now, if you've never played any of the games, I would recommend Yakuza The Origins bundle. That is on sale for $9.99. You get 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2. That is a great bundle. Essentially, you get one of the games for free if you buy the bundle. But a lot of you guys already have Yakuza 0. If you already played through 0, definitely go check out Yakuza Kiwami, a direct continuation from that. And Kiwami is a ground-up remake of Yakuza 1, which is great. Really, the issue with playing Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 is that those games are really dated. Kiwami and Kiwami 2 have their dated aspects to it, don't get me wrong, but they also have a lot of quality of life improvements that just make the games a lot more accessible. And Yakuza 1 and 2 as a whole are just really, really well done games. Definitely do play Kiwami and Kiwami 2, and I probably wouldn't jump to Yakuza 3 yet, just because they're gonna do a Yakuza Kiwami 3. I don't know when it's gonna come out, maybe 2025, 2026, but look, if you waited this long to play Yakuza 3, what's another year or two gonna do for you? Not much, so play Kiwami, Kiwami 2, 0, and then wait for Kiwami 3. Next up, we got GRIS, 80% off for $3.39. This is one of the most artistically pleasant games that you can come across. It really does tackle some more mature themes, and, you know, I am not in love with the terminology of gaming as an art form, but GRIS is one of those games that I think I'll be corny and say it really does showcase gaming as an art form, because the direction of the game and how it's presented is so well done that I really enjoyed it. It's not a super lengthy game or anything like that, and I feel like you should be in the right emotional state when you go into this game. Everybody reacts to games like this differently, so I can't say like, oh, be of this mood or anything like that, but you know, it's just an incredibly compelling game, beautiful to look at, and $3.39 I think is a great price. Next up, Hotline Miami 1 and 2. Hotline Miami 1 is $2.49. Hotline Miami 2 is $2.99. Both of these are pretty good deals. Throwback action titles, great pixel graphics art style. bloody as all hell. You could say gruesome, but bro, it's pixels at the end of the day. Like, it can't be that gruesome. Soundtracks are pretty good, and they're just enjoyable times to go through. I'm kind of surprised that they never, like, continued Hotline Miami. I feel like there's a lot of popularity and a lot of interest in Hotline Miami, but I don't know the ins and outs on why there wasn't another game. Nevertheless, $249 and $299, those are pretty good pickups for each of the Hotline Miami games. Next up, we got Titanfall 2 Standard Edition, 75% off for $499. I think Titanfall 2 is a great game at this point. Most of you probably are buying it for the single-player campaign, which, honestly, Titanfall 2 does not get enough love for its single-player campaign because it's actually a really, really well-done campaign. Not super lengthy, but given that FPS campaigns are pretty mid, and Titanfall 1 didn't even have a campaign, the fact that Titanfall 2 had a campaign and it was pretty well done, I think it's a pretty good campaign to go through, and I would say just for that, it's worth it. Titanfall is unfortunately one of those IPs that I don't know if EA is going to go back to. Respawn, obviously, doing the Star Wars titles, put out Apex Legends. They're doing a lot of great work, but Titanfall 3, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. But $499 for Titanfall 2, good pickup there. Next up, .hack GU Last Recode, 90% off for $499. I'm incredibly nostalgic when it comes to .hack GU. If you want to talk about, like, JRPGs I played in my formative years, so to speak, like when I was, you know, a young teenager, .hack would be it. That really, really stuck with me. Like, I love .hack, and .hack GU was a franchise I really enjoyed, much more than the OG 4 games, and a lot of people do prefer the OG 4. You know, at those times when you're playing games like super young, it's really just specific things that draw you into those games, like compelling characters, or even like little things like character design. Like, I vibed with Haseo as a character, and he's voiced by the same guy, Yuri Lowenthal. He voiced Sasuke as well from Naruto, and Haseo's totally like Sasuke, so like it's very up my alley, so to speak. .hack obviously has its fair share of issues, and as a PS2 era JRPG franchise, it shows its age. Very stiff animation, some of the voice acting is wonky, but gameplay I enjoyed, and overall a really, really great story in here as well. So $499, a good pickup there. Next up, kind of similar to the style of story that it is, but Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, $479, both of them, you know, about games within games, so to speak. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet I actually did enjoy. It covers the Gun Gale Online portion of SAO, and I think SAO is an absolute abomination of an anime. Like, after the first 3 episodes, my goodness, does that, like, talk about falling off a complete cliff. Like, it just got slaughtered after the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes I thought were really, really good, and then, man, it was just trash after that. But Gun Gale Online, featured in Fatal Bullet, I feel like added a nice gameplay twist. It's not a blow-away JRPG. You really have to keep your expectations in line, and I was a sucker for paying $50 for this game. But at $479, I actually think you can have some fun with it. Next up, we got Greak Memories of Azure, 75% off for $499. Great art style in this game, kind of simplistic of a look, but the coloring, I think, looks great. Fairly simple as far as gameplay goes as well, but a charming game that for $5 is a good buy. If it was like $250, I would say it's a great buy, but, you know, $4.99 is still pretty good if we're talking about, you know, pulling hair over $2.50. It is what it is, but check that out. The Messenger, 80% off for $3.99. Throwback action title that is very reminiscent of like 16-bit era, you know, Super Nintendo action games. One that you'll probably really enjoy. You know, this style of game, the era that it's harkening back to, a little bit before my time, but I still had a good time. But they can be pretty challenging, but for $3.99, excuse me, pretty good buy there. And then lastly, another throwback, but modernized a little bit, Strider, 80% off for $2.99. Didn't have much affinity towards Strider as a franchise, but I played this back in 2014. I believe it was a PlayStation Plus Essential title back in the day, and had a great time with it. Visuals are pretty good, given that, you know, it is a throwback, but at the same time, modernize the visuals. Another title that could be a little challenging, but overall an enjoyable game if you do like your action side-scrollers, and $2.99 is a great price for that. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $5 available right now on the PlayStation Store. Go check them out. Links in the description box below, as always. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.